We got to get this recorded for our website. Let me turn the camera on you. There he is. All right, Doc's in.
I made
Wellness,
it.
Yeah, for Wellness Wednesday.
So,
you were stuck in traffic?
Well, you know, I talk a lot on the show about those stress and adrenal, those chewable stress and adrenal. I needed an IV drip of those things this morning. Yeah, I made it.
All right.
It was pretty rough out there this morning, but I got here.
Glad you could be here. It's 8:24, but it is still Wellness Wednesday. And we'll just keep you later than normal.
That's
How about
fine.
that? Yeah, to get
that'll
it
work.
all in. Because I think you got a good show for us today.
I do. So I wanted to review some research that was just released by the International Organization for Medical Professionals, and they finally woke up and looked at some studies on the exposure to environmental chemicals and what that's doing to our health. And they released some data proving that, you know, what I've been talking about on the show for the last 5 years is actually something to be very concerned about. And I've tried to call attention to the public on all of the use of the chemicals in our daily lives that we're using and how that's having a detrimental effect on our health. And I don't think enough people are really getting it, so I continue to talk about it. But these group of researchers and physicians are from the United States, Canada, England, and also the World Health Organization. And this was their quote, and this is their exact quote. "We are drowning our world in untested and unsafe chemicals, and the price we are paying in terms of our health is a very serious concern." So they're finally getting it, and it took a while, but they're getting it, and I'm really glad that it's finally starting to register with other healthcare professionals that, you know, a lot of these hormone and thyroid and depression and anxiety and attention problems are from this. And we have more of that stuff going on than ever before. And
I have a question. Can it be transferred to a baby while still in the mother?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, they've done studies on infants, and they found some of the worst environmental chemicals in almost every one of them they've tested. So it absolutely is transferred
in babies who have not even come out of mom yet.
Yep. Absolutely, they have. And in fact, it's a real problem. So the report cited 7 million people die a year from indoor and outdoor chemical exposure. And I actually think it's much higher than that. That's the ones that they can directly relate to these chemical exposures. So if these chemicals contribute to obesity and you die from complications from that, like diabetes, it goes as a diabetes death,
right,
not a chemical death.
Right.
Or if you get cancer from these chemicals, it goes as a cancer death, not a chemical death. So
wow, I've never heard it put quite like that.
And that's exactly what's happening. You know, if you back up cancer and obesity and depression and anxiety and all of these things, thyroid problems, female hormone problems, if you back all of that up to the underlying cause, a lot of times it can be linked to a lot of these environmental chemicals that are in our surroundings. And they looked also at just hormone disrupting chemicals, which are everywhere, that affect your thyroid, female, and body hormones. And they estimated that the cost just in Europe was a minimum of 157 billion euros a year, just in Europe. Now, they looked at the cost of children in the United States related to hormone and behavior altering chemicals, and they estimated more than $76 billion in 2008 alone that has been spent just by these chemicals that have been connected to attention problems, learning difficulties, depression, anxiety, among other health problems in children. So they're starting to wake up. They're starting to get it. Now, these chemicals in our food, water, plastics, food packaging, soaps, makeup, lipstick, cleaners, pesticides, air fresheners, clothing, carpeting, and other flooring. I mean, they're literally everywhere. They've gotten to the point to where the average American now consumes 14 pounds of chemicals and preservatives every single year. So, and it builds up in our bodies over time. And these companies like Monsanto Seed, Dow Chemical, and others do not have your best health in mind. These companies don't even have to study these chemicals' effect on the body before they put them into our products. So it almost has to be proven that they're bad for you, which is difficult to do, not proven that they're safe for you in order for them to be able to use them. And so adding these, and if you add to that, all the chemicals in these Chinese products that we're using are even worse. And I'd be willing to bet the vast majority of the products in your house come from China. And many of them are loaded with these unsafe chemicals. And, you know, we know that China doesn't care what's in our products. You know, they want to make them cheaply and as fastly as possible. So what I want to talk about when we get back from break is I'm going to tell you the 5 chemicals you should do your best to avoid and the products that contain them, and I'll give you some alternatives to using them. So don't miss this right after the break, because I'm going to tell you what to do to prevent these damaging effects on the body. But the problem with this is what people don't realize is they're cumulative over time. It's not going to make you sick today. It's not going to make you sick tomorrow. But if you add up from the time you're born or even before then, like we were just talking about, and these chemicals build up in your body, and they're hormone disruptors. They affect your thyroid, they affect your mental capacity, they affect things like brain fog, chronic fatigue, and they build up over time and make you have either hormonal problems, obesity problems, some sort of a mental problem, or they can cause other issues like even cancers and things like that. So they build up over time.
Because a lot of people probably think, well, I used some chemicals around the house today and I didn't get sick.
Exactly.
You know, it's not if you don't see it immediately, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, that won't make me sick.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and so we use chemicals for everything today. I mean, if you've got weeds in your yard, you spray them. If you have bugs in your house, you spray them.
Yeah.
If you have something on your skin and you spray something on it. So
it's funny you should say that, because I have these little, in Judy's, I have these little bitty tiny microscopic spiders. They're so small. And underneath, like like around the floorboards and stuff, and underneath the kitchen counter, that little lip there, you know, they'll get up and make little, little webs.
Yeah.
But I just take the thing and like a cloth and just
Sure.
People say, well, why don't you spray and do something about? No, I don't want that stuff. I'll take those little spiders over chemicals in my house.
I will too. And there's something that you can buy called diatomaceous earth, which is an all-natural product that you can sprinkle around the inside of your house. It's completely harmless. In fact, I even mix it in my protein shake sometimes because it's actually good for you. It's silica, and it will kill bugs, and it's completely harmless. So
what's it called?
Diatomaceous earth. So there's alternatives out there to coming in and spraying, hormone and causing, health problems in your house. And what I do in my house is I have my exterminator spray the entire outside of my house, and then I use natural substances inside my house. So, nothing against exterminators. I have termite control in my house. I have them spray the outside of my house. I have them spray my garage. But where my little boy plays on the floor, I use more natural things in that area. So there's solutions.
Okay. We'll be back.
Andre Coleman